All right, so we're gonna go ahead and do the one thing it takes to really install this, guys. So it's not hard at all. There is a plug on the end of your device, on the end of your treadmill here. You'll see those 3 prongs there at the end. They just slide right in. You can see where the prongs go, and voila. So then this part is actually gonna plug into the wall, which I'm gonna stick it up under there. You wanna make sure that this is actually grounded on the floor. That way you don't run any risks of, tripping or anything like that. Make sure you're very careful with this. And then your on-off switch is right here. So we're gonna go ahead and give this a plug in, see how it goes. Turn on the device. So we got the power button on the side here. You're gonna watch the LED screen light up. Super duper nice screen there. You've got your remote control here that comes with all of the functions that you need. There's an emergency stop up at the top. That's gonna be a little power button there. Your mode button. This is the range value button. If you want to turn your speed up, turn it down. You want to adjust the time that you can actually set your timer on your device to make sure that you're walking as much as you need to. These are going to be all your speed settings here. And then here is your stop-start button. So if you need to stop or start the machine while you're using it, you'd actually press that button there. So as you can see, it counts down. And then she starts turning. So this right here is the first speed. You can turn it up to 2. So as you can see, it starts to get faster. Hopper, be careful. Be careful, honey. You don't have tennis shoes on. You can't get on it, I know. So that's setting number 2. Setting number 3. I know, Hopper. It's crazy, isn't it? Wild. Okay, and then setting number 4. And as you can see on the LED screen, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to turn it down using the arrows. So as you can see, it's counting down by a decimal place now rather than going to the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. You can actually fine-tune those speeds using the speed button. So we're going to turn it down nice and slow. That way Hopper's not too concerned by it, and you guys can kind of focus on the tread moving through and everything. So let me walk you through this LED screen just a little bit. So over here you have your power button. This is an on and off switch, your mode button, just like you'd have on here, speed down button, speed up button, and your start stop button, just like you would have on your remote. So if for some reason you have a little kiddo and they steal the remote, which speaking of, keep your kids away from this. Don't let them play on this. They'll probably fall and hurt themselves. Don't do it. But mistakes happen. Sometimes you can lose your remote. Sometimes I lose my remote. I am my own child. Then you can still use your setup here, so you don't have to worry about not being able to use your device if you lose it. So next up, we're going to get a little demonstration running for you, and I'll show you how you can actually walk on it. So yeah. All right, first things first, before you get on this bad boy, you want to make sure you do your stretches just like any other activity. I'm going to give a little bit of a safety precaution right before we get started here. You want to make sure that you use your treadmill only indoors. Obviously, always wear good exercise equipment. Make sure you have some nice shoes that aren't going to fall off. You don't want to do this with socks on. You don't want to do this with just bare feet. This is not yoga. This is a mechanical device. You want to make sure your feet are properly protected and given the right support so that you want to get the most of your workout. Make sure that your power plug is grounded reliably. Keep children away from the machine. All that good stuff. You don't want to leave it on for too long. Make sure you're not overworking it, just like you're not overworking yourself. There are going to be some other safety precaution things that they discuss a little bit in the safety manual, so make sure before you use it you look over all the stuff that you need to do. But without further ado, I'm going to show you how you can take this guy for a hot girl walk. Let's say it's way too freaking rainy outside for you to go on a walk. It's just going to count down there. It says 3, 2, 1, and it's going to start nice and slow. This is a ½ mile speed. So if you want to crank it up just a little bit, we can press our button on our remote control just to push it up a little bit. Maybe I want to take it all the way up to speed number 2. I would press that on the remote control because as you can see, I'm kind of keeping up with it a little much. Now this right here, this is a hot girl walk. This is a hot girl walk right here. I've got my Stanley in my hand, and we're doing this for the mental health, okay? Never underestimate the power of being able to go for a walk and what it can do for your mental health. Let's say you work from home and you need to be able to hang out while also getting some steps in. It's raining outside. It's gross outside. The ground is covered in ice. Not anymore, it's not, because you got your at-home treadmill.
I just realized you've been saying the word walk so much.
Oh, poor Hopper. He doesn't want to do a 4-letter word like Mom's doing. Oh, sweet pea, I know. Hang on. So then I'm just going to go ahead and pause this, just because Hopper was kind of getting near the machine. Go ahead and give a nice little stop. It slows down nice. Because just so you're aware, you don't have any of the bars or anything that you would have on your average running treadmill. So you want to make sure that you just crank it back down, slow and steady, it wins the race. Make sure you get yourself to an average speed that you feel comfortable with. Don't push yourself. But this is such a cool device to have, especially if you're working from home, especially if you're trapped in your home, if you're wanting to become a little bit more mobile. If you're wanting a treadmill that's going to go to a reasonable pace, maybe you're trying to regain some mobility, this could be good for physical therapy when it's used the proper way. This could be used for mental health. There are so many things that you could do with a small device like this. And the best part about it is when you're done, you can switch it off. Make sure you switch it all the way off. And unplug it. And the little wheels on the back. It's so easy to store. You can put this under a bed. You can put it under an office desk. You can lean it up against your office wall, your bedroom wall. You can lean it up against your living room wall. If you have a smaller apartment, you can push it up against the wall. It's got those nice little wheels on the bottom that make it so easy to move. So I'm just going to lean it up against this door here. Obviously, I wouldn't store it against the door. But that way, you can see how little room this guy actually takes up when you're storing it. I think there are, yes, there we go. We want to tilt it this way. Beautiful. Beautiful. That way you can see what we got going on underneath too. You can see you got your wheels down here, little lock springs here. It's super thin, easy to store. Honestly, I'll be keeping this underneath my, and those are little stands. You can actually prop it up a little bit if you want a little bit of an incline, which is really good for your ankles and all that good support. But I'm going to be keeping this underneath my desk. This is going to be my #1 favorite thing to add to my remote possessions for my wonderful at-home job. But it's super nice, super sleek, very slick, easy to store. The tread itself, it has good grip to it. Just make sure you wear the appropriate footwear when you're using it. Stay safe, all that good stuff. But this is such a wonderful device, and it's very accessible if you need it to run at slower paces. If you need to crank it up a notch, if you're feeling super athletic and you want to push that hot girl walk today, you can. So super easy to use. Definitely make sure you read through the manual before you use it. But I adore this, and I am so excited to implement it into my daily health routine.